Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Casper. Um, I didn't make a video yesterday because it was a very dull day, but today was a very impactful day. I think a lot of action, a lot of good stuff, mostly bad actually. But let's have a look into this one. The gold to silver ratio, as you know, oops, been following this one for ages. I still do think that this is the high. We have the drop here, we have the retrace, and then this is the high for now. I do think that, as you know, I've been saying that we will get some sort of a bounce here, and then how high we will go, I don't know. I think the highest we will go is this dotted golden trend line coming across here. Uh, Excuse me, right here, coming up here, as you can see. I think that's the highest we will go. But during this period, you will see a lot of pain in the precious metal sector. Um, so yeah, I have added this red one here um, to see if it holds. To be honest, I don't think so. Um, I think we go higher before we go lower. Let's have a look at the dollar. As you can see here, we broke out to the upside. This was a very pivotal moment. Either we broke down here from this major support, um, or we bounced back up again. And right now, as you can see, we're getting a pop here. Same as the gold to silver ratio. These are very correlated to each other. So I think we'll get a bounce here upwards, and then we will roll over. I have added the 200 DMA because I know a lot of viewers likes to have the DMA, the 200. So you can see we are below. It's sloping down. So what you should see often here is some sort of pop here, and then we roll over, as I explained last week as well. Silver doing its thing right now, doing the back test. Depending on where you draw the golden trend line, you can have it in multiple ways. You can also have it here, right, which means that we are below. So we are in this zone right here where we should hopefully hopefully see this one holds, and then we curl back up again. Also notice the 200 DMA coming up here for the first time in 2 years, more or less. So what I think it is, I think we are right here at some point. Um, right here. That's how I see things. But let's wait and see. Gold came into excuse me. As you know, we did the test of the all-time high at 2070, and this is the bearish rising wedge coming up here. So it's like that, maybe doesn't matter. And we have broken the middle section right now, so I think we will come all the way down here. Also, um, when we started to go towards the all-time highs here, I mentioned that I think we will go for a big retest of this one, this bad boy right here, and that's exactly what I think we will do right now. We will go down here at some place, and then have some sort of a retest. Again, notice the 200 DMA coming up here, very bullish. I do think this is the last drop or retrace before we go and finally break this high here. The fourth attempt is very often, the final nail in the coffin for a big support or resistance. Also note, while we went up here, as you can see, we had higher highs but lower lows on the RSI. Again, I know a lot of people love the RSI and have made comments to add it into the TA. So I will try to do that. Hopefully you like it. If not, let me know. But yeah, you could see some sort of weakening in the upward momentum here, right, because of the negative divergence coming here. So we will go down a bit here again. Still, the gold looks very bullish longer term. Platinum had a very big drop last week, and right now it's trying to work off the momentum. We need to get back above these two bad boys here, the golden trend line here and the dotted one. I really want to get back up in this zone if you're a bull, and again stay there for some time. because the longer we stay below, the more bearish it gets. Again, as we saw on gold and silver, look at the overall the 200 DMA coming up. That's bullish, so we just need some time before it catches up. Very nice. Please note the high here. We made a high up here on the RSI, and go away. And we have a lower high here, and of course a lower low on the RSI. So there's no divergence there yet. So yeah, let's have a look at it later on. I showed this chart here a few times actually. Let me zoom out. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. As you can see, this is the 40, 50-year long trend line coming down here all the way. And if we zoom in, as you can see here, all the way, we are just fighting this one right now, getting projected a bit here again. But as we saw on silver and gold, I think there'll be a small pullback in gold. So I think we will need to recharge here. We will have to go down a bit again here before maybe, hopefully, we'll get the breakout to the upside. Again, the 200 DMA coming up, very bullish. But this pattern right here, as you know, is often a bearish wedge, right? So let's see how it unfolds. Let's leave it there for the next time we look at it. GDX looked very bullish with this overall inverted head and shoulders. Right now we're actually below the inverted head and shoulders and or the neckline, sorry. And to be honest, I do not like that one bit. Again, the 200 DMA coming up, which is good for the first time in some time. We did see this similar setup here, with a big move up, and then it started to curl up again. So hopefully we will stay in this range. Maybe be a bit below here, but then the 200 DMA will catch up and hopefully push it higher at some point. Oil still overall negative. The 200 DMA coming down here. We did get into the green support zone 2 weeks ago. Right here, bounced big time, and right now we're just struggling with this shorter term minor golden trend line here. And if we can pop that one, I think we'll go all the way up to the middle sector of the range here, the blue dotted one, and the 200 DMA, and then we will see what happens. But it looks like it wants to get broken to the upside. Also, I heard that the US is now going to refill its SPR. So that will be some buying from their side. But until we have broken this golden trend line, we are short-term, long-term in a downtrend for oil. Nat gas, the good old natty. Let's see here quickly. I wrote on Twitter today that we might see a pop in nat gas. It was actually just right here actually, I think it was. And we popped 1 or 2 hours later, popped out. Now we're doing the back test, retest here. And what you want to see is resumption to the upside if you're a bull. Obviously, if this is a false breakout and you start to cool down again, that's not good if you're a bull. So, but I think if this one is legit, this one here, then let's go to the 8 hourly, excuse me. If this one is legit, I do think that we will curl all the way back up here to a visit just below 3, as I have mentioned plenty of times here. I think the 2.89-ish is where we could go. And from there, we will look at the situation. But that's how I see it. A lot of people are short nat gas right now. So, and when everyone is short, or long, the other side usually happens. This is the URA against the uranium spot price. Broken out last week. Now we're doing the retest at the, let's make it green here. It doesn't matter, whatever. At the purple support zone. If you want to see where it comes from, it's just all the way across here. As you can see, we have the purple support zone. I will say this. We need to see some sort of big movement here rather quickly. Otherwise, I think we will just, start to increase and then fizzle out, and then we go lower here because the 200 DMA is right now starting to cool down again. So we need to get some short-term momentum in this ratio very quickly, very, very quickly. Otherwise, I think this one will not hold. to my surprise actually, because I think this one was the low and the left shoulder or the right shoulder. It can still be the right shoulder, obviously, but I didn't think we will go much lower than this. I thought, getting all the way down to the reset here, where the bull market started late 2020, was the low, or of course still can be, but yeah, we need to curl up very quickly here for the next week or two, very very quickly. Otherwise, short term it will get very nasty for uranium miners. Yeah, let's zoom in here quickly. Last week we did a test of the golden trend line here, coming down from the highs, made as you can see here, all the way out here, the highs here, false breakout, and now we did a retest again last week. And what I hoped to see was a hold here or this backtest holding, but right now we're just piercing right through. Um, no bias at all. So this is it's actually very very bearish to me, for the uranium miners, and especially if we go all the way down here and break this double golden support here, getting below that one. To me, again confirming what we just looked at in the URA to uranium spot ratio. I think that we are in for one big drop, in the uranium miners. Even though the fundamentals just looks absolutely insane, but it doesn't matter. The charts is always correct. So again, we need to negate this here, and then, as before, need to gain some traction, getting above the 200 DMA and the golden trend line here. We need to do that during May. So we have two weeks left, in my view. Otherwise, this bear flag here, as you can see, coming down into a bear flag. And then if we break it, yeah, then the target is down at $12 for URA. $12. That's it's all the way down here, right here at the start of the bull market. So that would be absolutely, to me, absolutely insane. But yeah, anything can happen. It does. The market doesn't care about your feelings of you. So also we have the weekly 200 DMA coming up here. Hopefully it will help us to push up here. Um, but uh, but yeah, URA to the overall commodities. I have added two golden trend lines. One is the peaks, one is the daily closes. Right now we are just back testing this zone here. Again, very important. You don't want to see it roll down here again. That would be absolutely overall bearish. There's no positive way to look at it at that point. So hopefully we hold right here and we start to curl up again, um, during May. So the next 2 weeks for uranium is very important, maybe the most important you have seen in the past 2 to 3 years, in my view. URA to XLE, nothing much has happened. We broke out from these golden lines coming down here for a squeeze, and yeah, we're just trying to outperform. Still haven't made a higher high, so yeah, there's still a lot of work to do. The URA to SPY, I have changed my lines a bit here when I looked at it today, and I have added this dotted trend line here, major support and resistance trend line, which we have broken many times, and then right now we are below. And then I have this one here, as you can see, coming across. Maybe we should add it down here, but anyways, we have this one here where we back tested, and now we're rolling over. So the URA to the SP500, this green support needs to hold. We cannot break this one, otherwise we will see a lot of more downside in this ratio as well, and that will probably also confirm, the URA breaking down on the previous charts that we looked at. So this really needs to hold here. We have the squeeze coming in here. So when we get down here, let's add this one here. Let's make it green so we can remember. That's a very bad color. Let's make it just for, that's also very bad. But we'll make it yellow, whatever. This one we cannot break, and the green support. We need to curl back up again very quickly in that ratio as well. Also, this one doesn't look good at all. As you know, this inverted head and shoulders here, I've had for a very long time. We broke the neckline, and I thought, yes, now we have to go all the way up here for the measured move, and then finally for a retest. But obviously, as you can see, it didn't care about my feelings of views. We had a false breakout here, and again, we cannot, I stress, we cannot lose these lows here in this ratio. Otherwise, you will see a lot more downside for URA when you measure it against the Nasdaq. So yeah, I have had a lot of uranium charts today. They overall look bearish, but it could unwind to the upside for the next 2 weeks. That's what we need to see. Otherwise, it will turn a lot more bearish in the short term, obviously. But again, the uranium spot price is holding up very steadily. That's very bullish. So yeah, it's the next 2 weeks, man, for uranium is very, very important. I cannot stress that enough. If you're a bull. But on the other hand, if you're in and you have dry powder, and it starts to collapse big time, then you have of course an excuse to buy, I guess. But yeah, 10 we will not look at. We'll look at the XLE. XLE, you can see we have the longer golden trend line coming up here again, the 200 DMA coming up, and right now we go below both, so we are overall bearish on the XLE. We have a gap fill here that we need to fill, I think. So when we have filled it at 72, 73, that's the one that needs to hold. Um, so yeah, I think also XLE compared to oil, as I mentioned, overall bearish. So the energy sector as a whole doesn't look that good, to be honest. And quickly, I have the another ratio here, the gold divided by inflation. Right now we're above, broken out, retesting. Hopefully it holds. You don't want to have a false breakout here where we get below the 200 DMA and the upper golden trend line. If we do, look out below, because you will see a big drop in this ratio as well, like a 10-20%. I just want to show you one thing that I posted on Twitter as well. It's the Renko, the daily Renko bar here. This is my view. This is one big inverted head and shoulders in this ratio, and I do think at some point over the next half year, 1 year, maybe depending on how long it drags out, we will see a breakout to the upside here. It's one big inverted head and shoulders, as you can see, meaning when we break the neckline, you will have gold outperform inflation heavily, and that's where you want to be in gold. But in the short term, this could still, do some fizzling in here, and then we go to the upside. Okay, that's all I had for today. Have an awesome evening, guys, and as always, follow me on Twitter and here on YouTube as well. So cheers, guys.